The more a user invests in your product, the less likely he is to switch to a competitor. And one way you can promote this investment is by user-generated content. The more this content, the higher his feeling of bonding with the app. And very soon, the app is no longer just one product. The app becomes his. Like for example, his Facebook account, his Instagram profile. But there is a catch. In order to encourage user to start generating content, the app must be truly appealing to him. And the best way to do this is to know what his preferences are, what are his pain points, what are his problems, and what are his motivations. And one of the ways in which products do this is by gathering user data or preferences. You must have seen popular apps do this during the sign-up process itself. Like for example, Netflix or Prime, asking for what kind of movies do you like. When you're creating a new Pinterest profile, it asks you to select areas in which you're interested in, like gardening, like photography, so that once the user creates his account and signs into the app, he's immediately shown engaging content that he truly likes and wants to interact with. Data gathering is a topic of concern for many product owners because how much of this data is too much? How much of this data is to be asked? When is it to be asked? And how do you even ask that from your user, without feeling too pushy or, God forbid, repulsive? One of our clients was faced with the same issue. They had a very useful app, beautifully positioned in the market, which was solving a real user problem. But their engagement rates were very less and the dropout rates were very, very high. One of the reasons for this is because when a user created an account with them, they were not immediately shown data that they want to engage in. And in order for them to show engaging user content, they needed to know what the user preferences are. This was more of a deadlock. The way they gathered this user data was through a long form of 20 to 25 questions spread over 7 to 9 screens. And the call to action to fill up this was buried somewhere within the app. Here's a look at how the screens were initially. And here's how we redesigned the entire flow by following some simple design principles and human psychology. Our thinking process behind what we designed for them. The first one was we used the 80-20 principle. Out of those 20-25 questions, which of those were the most important? Which 20% of those questions would allow at least 80% of the data of the app to be more engaging? And the form was redesigned in such a way that these questions were placed at the very beginning. We divided the entire questionnaire into 3 stages. The first stage comprised of a set of 6 to 7 questions, and that was asked during the sign-up process. The second stage and the third stage would come when the user got into the app and during his second or third usage. Because the target user segment were travelers, they liked adventure, they liked new things, we designed the whole form as a quest, at the end of which the user would find himself. Some of the human psychological guidelines that we used during our redesign process was that humans inherently are very inquisitive, they are very curious beings. They like to fit in, they are social beings, and somewhere deep inside they want to feel special. So this is why we gamified the stage 1, and at the end of it, he could feel that he belongs to a particular group that he already identifies with. So this was one way in which we helped a really awesome client encourage their engagement and reduce their drop-off rates. If you have something that you need redesigned or you want us to take a look at it, please drop us an email at contactus@xdesignworks.com.